booked and busy, 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 yeah. I'm booked and busy, 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 yeah. I like this. All right. Whew. Hey, my name is Anna and welcome to my channel, or if you've been here before, welcome back. I have recently graduated from dental school, which means I should probably be calling myself a dentist now. And since it's back to school time, it's always back to school time, I thought before I'm personally heading and venturing out into the world of working, I'd be sharing one final how to survive school 101 guide with everybody. Sharing all my tips and tricks with you guys that I've acquired over the last 6 years of being in dental school, and I've been in business school before that. I have spent my fair share amount of time in school and I've learned a lesson or two. I'm still prone to make mistakes and that's fine, everybody does. I want to share friendly advice with everybody on how to make your life just a little bit easier when you start school, especially if you've just started college, if you've just started university. These tips might be helpful, and I would love for you to find your way a little bit more quickly than I did when I started school. Tip number 1, make yourself a plan at all times. Don't take a chance. And I know this sounds really weird. I know this sounds like, oh my god, do I have to have a plan and like a timetable for everything? That's so weird. What if I just want to live the moment? You should be living the moment. I feel like the first few years of my college career, I've just spent living each day as it went by, and I did not really plan out things. I did not time structure things, and it always led to me being just utterly over-flooded by everything. Having a time plan is great. Be flexible with it. Be flexible with your plans, but have a plan. Have a plan for the semester, have a plan when your term starts. Look at like when all of your exams are taking place so you know at which time of the year you will be studying. So you know you're not going to plan on any vacations or like prolonged trips during that time. Have a roughly like weekly plan, like the days you want to work out at, the days you can spend like socializing without feeling guilty. Some people are natural born planners. They need a plan at all times. Other people like to think we don't want a plan, but from my experience, having one is highly beneficial. Point number 2. Listen, I thought about just jumping into all of like the academic stuff right away. Academics are nice, but you know what also is nice? Mental health. And if you are not healthy and you're not feeling well mentally and emotionally, you're not going to perform well academically. Your mental health, your mental well-being really is the stepstone and the fundament of everything else that's going to come along the way when you start college, when you are in college, when you're pursuing academically challenging fields. If you are in med school, law school, business school, dental school, that's a wild ride that you signed up for. And yes, you have to study a lot, you have to be smart, and that's pressuring, but also society holds really high standards towards you. Your family probably does. Because like everybody else has a lot of expectations when it comes to you performing really well. And because of that, you also raise your own expectations towards yourself, which is why it is so incredibly important to balance everything out and to take really good care of your mental health. When it comes to self-care, I feel like there are different ways how to do it. Something that has really helped me personally, which I started implementing in dental school, I feel like in my 3rd year probably, I've really been struggling a lot with the pressure of school, and I've been trying to take a lot more care of myself. Something that has really helped me out is meditation. When you dive into the world of meditating, it can be a little bit difficult. You can feel a little bit overwhelmed, which meditating shouldn't be. Meditating and meditation is something that should center you and should help you calm down, and it shouldn't be overwhelming, which is why it's really helpful if you have someone along the way to guide you, to take you by the hand. What I find really helpful to use is Headspace. And thank you so much to Headspace for sponsoring today's video. Headspace is an app that pretty much helps you with meditation. Headspace helps you out with meditation, breath work, falling asleep. They have podcasts, they have music, and they can even help you out with moving your body a little bit more. Now, I personally really love using Headspace for meditation and breath work because I feel like those are things that I personally struggle with. Like if I would sit down on my own, I wouldn't do well. So having a guide next to me and just somebody who's telling me what to do and who's guiding me through this process It's just really helpful. So when you go into the app, you can just choose that you want to do a meditation, for example. And then Headspace can show you like different types of meditations, and you can pick one that feels most suitable for your day. Breathing is something that is really important with calming your nervous system, and Headspace actually has guided breathwork sessions where you can learn how to utilize your own breath. So you can do that at home using Headspace, but then you can also utilize this knowledge whenever you're in school and you're just feeling really stressed out. I feel like especially in dental school, we're having clinicals, we're treating patients, we're having exams, we're having lectures, we're having seminars. Sometimes it gets really overwhelming, and there are a lot of people around me. I can get overstimulated during times like these. Using guided breath work to calm down your nervous system and to snap yourself out of a really stressed episode is really helpful. If you haven't already, I really recommend you guys to check out Headspace and give it a go. You can actually sign up via the link down in the description below and use my code ANNA60day to sign up for a 60-day free trial where you can try out Headspace with all its benefits for free. Thank you so much to Headspace for sponsoring today's video, and let me know down in the comments below what else you like to do for self-care. For me, another aspect of self-care is definitely just taking care of my body. 100% super important, even when you're in school during stressful times. It might be finals time. Take care of your body. Take that shower. Take that bath. Do that face mask. Light those incense. Wash your hair and do like a prolonged hair care session. It's not a waste of time. Self-care is essential, and you need it for your own mental well-being. Another thing that keeps me grounded and that keeps me mentally and emotionally stable, but also physically well, is working out and moving my body. And I would highly advise anybody who is in school, but even anybody who's working, to keep on working out and to keep incorporating fitness into their everyday life. You do not have to go to the gym. You do not have to lift heavy weights. You can join a club if you want to. You can do group activities. You can go to classes. You can start playing tennis, paddle, pickleball. You can just go for a run. It doesn't really matter. First of all, you should enjoy whatever you're doing. You should enjoy moving your body. Then keep on doing it regularly. You don't have to work out 5 times a week. If once a week is enough for you, it's enough for you. And if you are in dental school and you're having really bad posture, like every single dental student on this planet Earth, start doing yoga. Start to stretch. After getting home, like a quick 10-minute yoga session and just stretching and winding down. Chef's kiss. Take care of your body. You only have one body. Don't neglect it. Part of that is also eating well and nourishing yourself. At the end of the day, you only have this one body. You only have this one mind. You gotta take care of yourself. If you want to survive school, if you want to be an academic beast, if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't be it. Now that brings us to point number 3, and for that I want to put on my glasses because I want to look a little extra smart. Using the right study techniques. In school, everybody has to study, and boy, let me tell you one thing, I'm not gonna miss that. I'm not gonna miss having to study. But whenever you are in college, exams are part of life, and studying is part of life. And if you always end up studying last minute, your life is gonna be really hard. This school survival guide is about making life easier. So first things first, remember point 1 that I told you, make a plan. Have a study plan. As soon as you get the dates for all of your exams, once you have your finals period, write it down, note it down in your calendar, and plan everything accordingly. Like, plan in advance. And you should be utilizing the right study techniques. Now, I have uploaded a few videos about study techniques before. I'm going to link them down below. You can check them out if you want them in more detail. My favorite study techniques were spaced repetition, which means that what I've just said, you have to study a little bit more in advance. You're going to take a look at all of your lectures and all of your slides, and you're going to figure out which topics are a little easier for you and which ones are really difficult for you. The difficult ones you're going to start studying every single day. The ones that come a lot more naturally and a lot more easily to you, you're going to study about like every other to every 3rd day. Ideally, you would do this for such a long time that at a certain point, you're good with everything, and every topic you're going to touch on like every 3rd to 4th day, or like maybe just once a week. From my experience, this never worked out for me in school because I've always started studying too late for that, even if I started studying a month before. But that's technically spaced repetition, and I really do really like recommending dividing topics into things you're good at and things you're not good at. You can do it with a color coding system using Notion. You can do it handwritten on paper. Smart note-taking. I think in one of my videos I said you should not be taking notes anymore, and people were offended by that. They were like, I love taking notes. my lecture slides are too long. I get it, 100%. Sometimes you gotta take notes. What I meant when I said that you should stop taking notes is that you should stop copying your lecture slides. That's not sensible. That is a waste of time. If you want to take notes, only write down the things that are not given on the lecture slide or the things you do not understand. Take smart notes. You can take all the notes that you want, but do it in a smart way. Don't waste your time. Study alone and study in groups, but know when each way to go is more beneficial to you. I love studying on my own. I don't really like studying in groups, but especially if you have spoken exams where you have to be able to explain things, it's really helpful if you study with others and you start explaining each other topics. When it comes to your study time, personally, I really love using the pomodoro technique. This is really, really helpful. It means you study in intervals. Those intervals, though, you have to find out according to your own needs and your own attention span how long they can be. I have days where I do 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. I have days where I go for 1.5 hours on, half an hour off. The key thing of pomodoro technique is you work and then you take a break. I personally love using the app Forest for that, and I've been loving it so much, especially when I've been studying for my state exams, because I used it to block my phone so I didn't get any notifications and I was not allowed to leave the app and go onto any other application on my phone. Great thing. I highly recommend it. It's for free and it just removes any kind of distraction, and I know we're always distracted. Last but not least, at least for today's video, if you want more study techniques, check out my other ones. Know when you should be studying in advance and know when you can bulk and cram. Now, I feel like, listen, I feel like some people might not want me to give out that advice. Sometimes you gotta bulk and sometimes you gotta cram. Especially if you are in medical school and dental school, it's a lot, okay? You have a lot of exams. You have a lot of clinicals coming up. You are kind of like working like a 9 to 5 and having exams. Sometimes it's okay to pull an all-nighter. Sometimes it's okay to cram and forget everything after your exam. Because everybody online is always like, no, you shouldn't be cramming, and then everybody just feels so bad if they do. It's okay. You just have to know, like, certain subjects, you should be knowing that shit, okay? Like, it should be memorized for eternity because that's going to be your job. I don't want to advise you to do this every single time, but know when it's okay to do so. And then pull that all-nighter, cram it in, rock that exam, and forget everything. It happens. Point number 4, have a social life. I know, you're like, I want to be an academic beast. Academic beasts don't go out to clubs. They don't drink. They don't have movie nights with their friends. They do. You know, like, really successful people in life always still have a social life. Some of them don't, and those are usually people who end up not being successful after a few years anymore because they're just lacking so much happiness in their lives. Have a social life, even when you're in school. Go out with your friends, go to an arcade, have a karaoke night, cook together, have a movie night, throw a party. That's life. You're young. Number 5, make yourself a home and get comfy and cozy in it. A lot of us move when we go to college and to university. Some of us are staying in student homes. You're staying in college dorms. Some of us are getting apartments. No matter where you live, make yourself comfortable and make yourself feel at home. If you're not comfortable, you're going to be miserable. This is the place that you go to recharge. So make yourself feel comfortable. If you're not comfortable within your own 4 walls, it's not going to be good for your mental health. The last point for today's video is know your goals and know what you're working towards too. I feel like when you go into school, you should know why. You should always know your why. You should always have the reason behind. You should know what you want to do. Like for me, I always knew I want to be a dentist and I would like to have my own office. And that's my why. That's my goal. And because of that, I know I have to be good at school. I know I have to pass. I know I have to graduate. And I have to put in a lot of work in my clinicals. But you should also not spend your entire time daydreaming about the ultimate goal, because that's so easy. It's so easy to just be sitting at home and daydreaming about what you could have potentially in the future. You should also focus on the day ahead, on the week ahead, and not live in the possible future of like 5 years ahead of you. So know your why, know the goals that you have, and if they change, that is nothing bad. That is normal. You are going to change. embrace the change. If you feel like after 5 years in college, you've become a completely different person with different goals, different ambitions, that's normal. You're not going to be the same person. A lot of you guys are going to start going to college at 17, 18. You're not going to be the same person at 22 or 23. I hope you do a lot of growth. Don't forget that growth isn't linear, so you will have periods of time that are going to be really stressful and they're going to be really hard and they're going to force you to grow a lot more, and then you're gonna have times in your life where you pretty much, it feels like you're gonna stay the same, and it's like a really slow and steady way of growing. No matter what it is, growth is what we want. This time in your life is going to shape you, and I feel like once you're out of school, once you've fully graduated and you're going to go out and explore the world and start working, you have finally become your own person. Probably moved out of your parents' home. Probably are in debt. Don't worry, almost all of us are. You're gonna start going into job interviews and you're gonna start living your own life and you're gonna feel like an adult all of a sudden, because when you're in college you don't really feel like an adult. You still feel like a kid, but like a 24-year-old kid. And yeah, those years are detrimental to your own personal development. And I'm so excited for every single one of you who might just started going to college or university and who's going to pursue their dreams. And I hope you're going to have the best time ever. School is scary. School is stressful. I see my friends who went back to school like a couple of weeks ago talking about their lectures, talking about their clinicals. Part of me misses that, but I only miss it because I got so much time hanging out with my friends at school, at the cafeteria, having lunch together, gossiping about whatever happened that day. And now that's gone. So I'm not crying, by the way. I'm having allergies. It's sad leaving school, but it's also like you feel like it's a really big victory. I was so proud of myself when I graduated because I knew it was such a hard time. You see that over here? That's my work that I did in pre-clinicals when we started doing like dentures and stuff like that. Those are my books from school. And this is just a bunch of trash, please ignore that. But those are things that I did during school. So many things happened over the course of 6 years, and there were times where I felt like, how am I going to survive this? And I couldn't imagine myself just a month after like certain things happen. At the end of the day, you survive anything. I want you to know that everything's gonna work out for you. Don't worry, you got this. So I hope you found these tips helpful. I will see you guys in my next video. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. Maybe I'll do another sit down video in the future. I'm actually in the process of finding a job. That's my little life update. I hope you're having a great time and I'll see you soon. Bye.